And so, look, I think increasingly as the summary judgment filings were made public, people realized that maybe the SEC really is overreaching. They really aren't following a kind of faithful allegiance to the law. And that's a quote from the judge in this case. And so I think people are realizing that, you know,
the judge said that it might be. They might not be, right?
No, but the judge said is, one, the SEC is being hypocritical.
Yes.
And two, they said that they were not following a faithful allegiance to the law in pursuit of an outcome. And I think that's what we have here. We have the SEC, I think, is...
What's going up, Bull Runners? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for being here. We have an awesome video for you today, and you are a genius for being here. That is right. SEC not following allegiance to the law. And that is not just from us, XRP Army anymore, not just from the judges or not just from the lawyers that are supporting and hoping that XRP is the one that's found as the only cryptocurrency that has legal standing as not a security, which, by the way, we are now, just so you are aware. So Bitcoin, Ethereum, even though they are the big time, big baller coins, right? That's what everyone tries to say. XRP, the coin, is the only coin with true legal standing as not a security, which is really exciting. So everyone, please make sure you guys understand that. So as you saw right there, Brad Garlinghouse states that SEC was found to not being following the proper procedures, and they were essentially breaking the law. So that's why Ripple won the case. Now, a lot of people are still having some issues with parts of the case, which is completely understandable. But the important part is, for me and for you, we are not institutions. Most of you out there watching this channel, you probably are not BlackRock. You probably are not JP Morgan, right? You are a normal average person who purchased your XRP on the secondary market, and you are completely safe. And XRP and Ripple, the company, is completely safe in those sales, which is a beautiful thing. So we have some really great stuff we're going to be covering today. Besides just Ripple XRP, we will be jumping into the charts, as I mentioned as well. So if you are as excited as I am, as our channel is, let me know down in the comment section. Give me a hashtag winning, hashtag WINNING, because XRP is officially winning. We just watched this one here, so we're going to go like and retweet that so that way you can find it. All you got to do is follow me on Twitter. You can find this in my Twitter page, but it says here, Dear Fox Business and Gasparino and Eleanor Tourette, instead of whining that Brad Garlinghouse went on CNBC, why don't you all think and reflect how Gasparino handles himself in interviews? Now, there's no room for error and no time for Gasparino to mislead listeners, Exhibit B. And as you heard in the very beginning there, Gasparino trying to make something up. And by the way, if you are not aware, our favorite Ripple/XRP lawyer, he did go and find Mr. Gasparino and claimed his dinner. I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but they had a bet. And if you're not aware who John Dean is, then you don't belong in the XRP community. You got to find out who this guy is, because he's actually supporting not Ripple, not XRP, but us, XRP Army. So if you own XRP for many years, there's a class action lawsuit going on. He is the one helping with that. But after he says here, after I was on Making Money with Charlie Payne, that's another host of Fox Business, I went looking to collect on my bet. I had warned Eleanor Tourette that I wanted to get a pic of me coming to collect from Charlie Gasparino. When I arrived, Ellie said, John, you should probably take the pic before you get on Twitter. Puzzled by her remark, I took a pic as I informed Charlie that I prefer bone-in ribeye because they bet a really expensive dinner for this. Cooked medium rare, I noticed a fired up Gasparino, that kind of fire that makes him go and do 5 sets of 10 pull-ups and then run 5 miles. I said, so what's up with you? And the grin. He told me nothing much, just having fun. And then when I got on the Twitter train and read the Twitter, I understand Eli's comment. And just to give you guys a little bit of background on it, here is what happened March 7th, 2023.
John, this is why all eyes are on this case and why Twitter blows up every time you come on the show. Just to point out, guys.
I think the SEC is going to win. And I'll tell you, it's going to be a bad day for crypto.
Well,
okay,
right.
we're going to put that dinner on that? Steak. You got it.
Can I come? John Deaton, good to see you.
There it is, the steak dinner bet. So great win, Mr. John Deaton. Happy for you, sir. Now let's jump back over here to Twitter, jump back over to the bookmarks. What have we also got here? This one right here from digital asset investor Timothy Masad, former chairman of the CFTC, weighs in on the Ripple decision as well. Let's take a listen to this.
That Ripple decision, everybody's been waiting for it in this area, and I would say it's sort of Solomonic. I mean, sort of, there's something for everybody. Explain that decision and whether you think it makes sense to say sometimes XRP is a security, sometimes it's not.
Well, we're still sort of waiting for the full opinion, or at least I haven't seen it yet. But from what I have read, the judge decided for Ripple on some very important claims and therefore ruled in favor of its summary judgment motion, but allowed some of the SEC's claims to go forward. I think the key issue here is how does it end up interpreting the Howey test overall? You may recall the Howey test is what we use to determine whether a crypto token is a security. And it sounds like the judge leaned more into sort of Ripple's camp than the SEC's, in the sense that it appears to say that unless the arrangement really created some post-sale rights and obligations between the parties, then maybe it's not a security. Now, again, we sort of have to analyze the full decision to really make sure of that, because the judge did allow the claims on the institutional sales to go forward. The institutional sales had a lot more optics and color around them that looked like normal security sales, whereas the retail sales, the programmatic sales did not.
Okay, guys, and that's what we were talking about earlier. So me and you and average everyday retail investors, we are not having any issues, but there may still be a case against Ripple, which we're still going to have to hope and pray that this goes away as well, against the institutional investor side, that those could be securities. Meaning, well, this could actually be super major positive for us too, though, because let's say, for example, JP Morgan, an institution, BlackRock, an institution, buys XRP, all right, from Ripple. Well, they can't anymore because that would be a security. So how is that positive for us? Well, because if these big institutions, the cross-border payment banks, want to use XRP, well, then they're going to buy it from the open market, from a regular exchange like me and you, which if they put that money into the open market, we know what happens, right? That means that the actual amount of money flowing into XRP, the market cap, will soar. I mean, it would still be soaring even if it came behind other scenes, but the reality is this will have to be on market, visual. People are going to see the buys happening. It's going to create hype. It's going to create excitement. So we'll see how it turns out, but I'm really excited about this part of it because there's also another really cool workaround that could be working here, which is the fact that Ripple could open its own exchange. What if Ripple became an exchange and then they were selling the XRP token on their own exchange? Well, that's legal too because it's secondary sales.
So we'll have to wait to see.
Yeah, important. We have to wait and see. Fair point. There is a little irony, at least in the initial reports, that it's the institutional people that need protection and the retail people don't need protection. But let me ask you whether the markets you think might be getting it right, because XRP, the token, zoomed up. Last time I checked, it was 27% up. Do you think the markets got this right?
Yeah, I mean, it did, as did some other tokens. So again, if the judge basically interpreted the Howey test in a more conservative way than what the SEC was arguing, then it is very significant. But look, it's still not going to resolve some of the basic issues we have of how do we regulate this industry. And that's kind of what I've been arguing all along. We've been too bogged down in these questions of, is it a security, is it not a security, that have prevented us from putting in place some reasonable standards to protect investors, but also to encourage innovation.
As Romain said, there's a lot of news today.
All right, now jumping over here to Bloomberg Crypto, Ripple Labs CEO Brad Garlinghouse says that a federal court's decision means that its crypto token XRP is not a security, giving the digital payments company more freedom to pursue various business opportunities, kind of like what you just heard there as well. Now they can be even more excited and more open to different ideas and different inventions and different opportunities that come along in the crypto space. We already talked about XRP potentially getting into real estate. Well, let's listen to what Brad has to say here.
In some ways, it's ironic. You know, the mission statement of the United States Securities and Exchange Commission is to protect investors. They went after Ripple, suggesting that, you know, all kinds of things, everything we were doing was selling an unregistered security. And the judge really very clearly said, you know, sales through exchanges, not a security. When it's used for compensation, not a security. When it's used for incentives around the overall XRP ecosystem, not a security. So, we have already moved a lot of our activity, and frankly, 95% of our customers are non-US. So a lot of our activity has been outside the US jurisdiction because that's where our customer demand is. But I think that's where the US is losing. And I think what the SEC has been trying to do is to put power and politics over what is really just sound policy and providing clear rules of the road such that entrepreneurs and investors can participate in this amazing new market around crypto and blockchain technologies.
So this is still a legal process playing out. I think people watching, an SEC appeal process, what that looks like. What does it mean for your company in your business in the interim?
Look, as a matter of law, the law of the land right now is that XRP is not a security. And
I love it when he says that. And he keeps posting that all over Twitter, everywhere he talks. The letter of the law of the land. We are XRP community. XRP token is the only token that has literal legal precedence as not a security. You got to let that soak in here, guys. Now, what does that do to the price? Does it go up? Does it go down? Who knows? Because obviously no one will ever know. But the fact is, this is a great start for all of crypto.
Until there is an opportunity for the SEC to file an appeal, which would take years. And frankly, we're very optimistic. If they were to file an appeal, we think that only further solidifies the decision this judge made. Because, look, as a matter of law, as a matter of the facts, and really as a matter of looking back in the history here, for the SEC, really it's overreach to suggest, as the chair has said many times, that basically everything in the crypto space is a security. Well, we now have a judge very clearly saying that is just not true, and very clearly saying XRP is not a security on exchanges and all these different use cases, which I think helps the whole industry for sure. So this is a win for Ripple. It's also a win for the entire crypto industry. And I think that's why you saw the crypto industry react so positively over the last 24 hours.
And that is why he said the crypto industry, because all of crypto's popped. Could XRP's explosion to the upside be the start of altcoin season as well? Like, it is all just, it's just so exciting. I don't know. So let me know. Comment down below if there's going to be an altcoin season. Let me know down in the comments. Say alt season, ALTSEASON, alt season in the comment section if you think there is going to be an alt season this year. So again, thank you, Bloomberg Crypto, Bloomberg News. Great video there. All right. And now this was by far my favorite thing that I saw posted on Twitter over the last couple of days. And by the way, thank you so much for bearing with me today. I'm still a little bit sick. I've been sick for about 4 days. I caught something, not the 19 version, but of some sort of sickness. And it's really taken it out of me, and it's been rough. So thank you guys for being a supporter of our channel regardless. I know Nick has been here battling every single day while I've been out. So I really appreciate you help supporting us. And don't forget, join the member of the Bull Runners Club. Click the link down in the description. Buy some merch, get a hat, get a coffee mug, get something to help support the channel so we can keep bringing you this great research every single day. All right. But anyway, this brings me to one of my favorite things that has ever happened. And that is on August 12th or maybe December 8th, depending on when this happened, but it was 2022. We all know how awesome Jim Cramer is at calling the wrong shot, meaning the inverse Cramer. Whatever this guy says, you do the opposite of. So let's see what he said about XRP. And let's see what he said about Ripple, the company here.
Put up XRP and Solana and Dogecoin. Those are all, I believe, cons.
Yeah.
I mean, if we think that the XRP slash USD coin is something that we should be following, well, I mean, we should be following, we should put up like Rent the Runway and Stitch Fix up there. I mean, honestly.
Breaking, Ripple wins case against SEC as judge rules 81 cents, baby. And by the way, it was trading at 46 cents the day before the moonshot. And there it is. That is right. Always wrong, Mr. Cramer. All right. And then also wanted to cover this one here for us as well. Now, this one, it was a little bothersome for me because when people like this start talking about how awesome crypto is, it is typically and potentially, not typically, but potentially a top signal, a short-term top. Did we hit a short-term top? Will the pump continue? Because Mr. BlackRock himself, chairman and CEO Larry Fink, listen to what he has to say about crypto here, guys. And this is a freaking complete 180. Because if you remember, this guy, JP Morgan, they all used to say that crypto was a scam. Now let's take a listen to what this guy's saying.
More and more global investors are asking us about the role of crypto. And as I said, I do believe a lot of crypto is going to be, it's an international asset. It has a differentiating value versus other asset classes, but more importantly,
it's like it was painful for him to say that. You know what I'm saying? It's an international asset. He didn't, he gets that.
Because it's so international, it's going to transcend any one currency and currency valuation. If you just look at the value of our dollar, how it depreciated the last two months, and how much.
He said the dollar devaluing, right? Because we also have other countries creating currencies like the BRICS. It is literally devaluing the US dollar. Lots of stuff devaluing the US dollar. But you know what is not going up? So the dollar is losing its value. And Nick always talks about this. The dollar is losing its value. That's a fact. Crypto is continuing to gain value, and that is exciting. Give me hashtag winning down in the comments section. Hashtag winning if you know that crypto continues to gain value.
How much it appreciated over the last 5 years. I mean, an international crypto product can really transcend that. And that's why we believe there's great opportunities, and that's why we're seeing more and more interest. And that interest is broad-based worldwide. More
broad-based worldwide. Hashtag winning, baby. That's very exciting. So now let's go ahead and jump into the charts and see what's going on with the crypto prices. And of course, we're going to start with XRP having another great day. Now, if you guys remember a couple of days ago when I wasn't sick, I did do a video for us here on the daily charts talking about this level right here. And that was being so important. That's 70 cents, 70.13. If we lost it, if we lose this level, there's a potential of a drop getting even back to 60 cents and even worse nightmare, filling the ultimate fair value gap here back to 47 cents. But luckily, it tried 2 days ago. Yesterday, it tried. And now today, it dipped under, rejected again, and now powered to the top side. Now, we do have a supreme resistance here at 77, 78 cents that we need to break. And if we can break through that again, then we're going to see ourselves clear the way back up into that 92 to 95 cent supply and demand zone. If you guys remember when we did this, we went back in history and found this zone right here, which dates back to this time, December 27th, 2021. That's where the supply and demand zone was created. And sure enough, it went in wick there. Now, why did that happen? Well, there was a couple of scenarios here, this right here, and also this right here, where price created new highs, right? So, or not new highs, but highs. These are highs right here. Creating liquidity is what I'm trying to tell you, right? So there's liquidity in this zone right here. So liquidity, meaning that big banks could have lots and lots and lots of people sell off right here. And you may be wondering, well, how is that possible? Well, price comes down, starts to make its way back up. People get excited, start buying. It drops again. It makes another surge. People start buying. Right? So a lot of people had bought right here and they held through the hellhole, the absolute crap storm that they had to survive from buying up here at 91 cents. They held all the way through 30 cents. And when it finally got back up to 91 cents, guess what they did? Their $1,000 that had turned into $300, if they were long-term holders and it got back to $1,000 and their significant other or best friend was telling them how crappy this is, blah, 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 they finally got to get their money back. So they exited. And so we noticed that. We saw that. There was a big amount of exits there. You can see right here, it got literally right into the zone, sold off. More and more sales started happening. So what did we do? Well, we went back and we looked at this big giant surge and we looked at a smaller time frame and we looked at the 5-minute time frame here. And what we did is we also turned on Heikin-Ashi candles because this is the easiest way to find supply and demand zones. And when you go and take a look, what you'll notice, a dip here, resistance, chilling out in this spot right here, not doing anything until we finally broke out a little while ago on the 5-minute charts. Now, if you take a look here, there was such an extreme momentum of power to the upside. We did end up having this 5-minute supply and demand zone here. That's why I was pointing out, if it was to break that zone, it could likely fall at 59 cents. And that is also based off of a 1 minute time frame. So we jump all the way back to 1 minute time frame, and we go and we find, well, where was the relaxation point? Where do we lose some? So there's momentum, check, momentum, boom, and upside, right? So this was the spot where a lot of things chilled out, as you can see. And we look at the last red candle before the up move, and sure enough, it was right here, 72 cents. Now we also look at the very last bottom part of a red candle in all of the green, and that gave us this 70-cent zone. Now, if we would have lost this on the 1 minute channel, there was a very good opportunity for price to come back to 64 cents-ish, 63 cents. Again, not financial advice, just looking at the charts and what supply and demand zones are telling us here on the 1 minute, okay? So as you can see, if we would have lost this, which we didn't, it came and checked a few times. It actually dipped under for a few minutes on the 1 minute chart, but gained back momentum. And the most important part is we did not lose our daily confirmation of that exact point, right? So we never lost it on the Japanese candlesticks. You look at Heikinashi for supply and demand, check Japanese candlesticks. Do we break it and close? No. So it wasn't coming back here to 60.59 cents. Now, what if this fake momentum to the upside quits again and it starts to drop? This is still what I'm watching. Close and confirmation below 70 cents, we could be resetting to a smaller level. However, if we break this zone right here, 77, 78 cents, I'm looking for a return back up to this 91.63 cents. And that comes back to us from these liquidity sweeps. And the beautiful thing is, if we sweep this liquidity and sweep this liquidity like we did right here, okay, it just went and swept liquidity and then rejected. If we now re-challenge that and break through that, well, then there's a great likelihood that becomes our support now. So exciting times right there for XRP, up 5% on the day. Let's take a look what's going on with Bitcoin. Bitcoin is currently at a break-even point for the day. Still stuck in our supply and demand zone that we've been talking about for Bitcoin. But you know what? We got a lot going on here. So let's go ahead and clear it all and see what's going on. We've tracked this for quite some time. Now let's make a new update. So we're here on the daily charts. Our total high right now, our ultimate liquidity came to us about 4 days ago, right? So if we go back in time, where did that supply and demand zone hit us? You can see all this chop city in here. So the last down move before, or the last green candle before the down move that we have is actually this one right here. So let's go ahead and block this off. And this would be our ultimate resistance. So let's go take a look. You can see it's popped through, tried. So you can see this is where we're stuck, right? And this is on the daily. We could even break it down even smaller. Let's go to a 1 hour. And you can do this at home, ladies and gentlemen. This is very easy. Again, you just do Heikinashi candles. Okay, so look, this is where we're at here, but there is a higher spot in our time frames here on the 1 hour. So let's go ahead and mark out the 1 hour. Where is the last green candle before the down move? It would be this candle right here. So let's grab our box. Or here, I'm going to delete everything here. There we go. We're going to grab our box. It's going to be this candle right here. Last green candle for the down move on the hourly. We can also go find a higher one if we want. We can even test a little bit in the back here. I mean, ultimately, look, this was the final push right here, right? Oh, shoot, we lost. Boom. And then we just started dropping, because look at that top right there. So what if we grab that candle, top of that one, bottom of that one? Now we got that as a supply and demand zone on the 1 hour charts. We can see it battled and battled and battled. It rejected off of there. It got in again. It failed. And it's been in that zone again. So right here, failed. It's gotten into the zone a few times. Again, it failed. It teased us again. It failed. So the reality is we need to get up in here and claim this as our support. That 31,242 is where I would hope it would come to. Looks like on the 1 hour, our 1 hour magic white line, it's approaching that rather quickly. So either the magic white line is going to come up to it, or it's coming down to it before it can replenish itself and make a run to the upside. But that's where I'm watching. We would love to see it break 32,662. That would be very exciting. whoa, take a look at Ethereum. Ethereum has had a recent supercharged pump up to 2,300. Let's see, what do we get to on the daily chart? 22,030. My eyes were tripping. But let's see what we have going on. So we're here on the 1 hour charts. We have a supply and demand zone. The last red candle before this green up move would be our supply and demand zone at the bottom. That's where demand is for sure. And we do have all this chop city here. And we could say that this candle is important to us. And you can see that's the one that's been holding up right now as a support. If we can reclaim that, then boom, we can shoot up to the supply and demand zone to the upside, which would be this green candle here. Gives us 1994 and 2007. That's on that smaller time frame. Let's look here on the larger time frame. Where is price potentially running back to on the daily charts? This is the last green candle before the down move. And that's 2051. It's very close to getting there. Hasn't really got there yet. And then on the lower level, we have 1721. So it's stuck in between these two zones. We'll see. Does it have the momentum? It's making new higher lows and new higher highs. So it's got the momentum up here. The 14 has crossed the 50, looking more bullish than bearish. So let's see if we can return back up into the zone here of 2050. And again, not financial advice, just me checking out what the charts are telling us.